Today on Broadway Banter, Austin Cook, my husband, is going to watch his Hamilton audition for the first time in about 4 years. And I am going to watch it for the first time ever with him. Then we're going to talk about it.
Being a Broadway performer is pretty cool. And a lot of hard work. But getting there is even harder. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm Adrienne Walker. Welcome to 32 Bar Cut.
Cheers to watching
Cheers.
your video.
It's going to be terrible. Okay, you're going to introduce us.
Yeah. So, hi everyone, I'm Adrienne Walker. This is our channel, 32 Bar Cut. And Austin is my husband. He's been a music associate with Hamilton as well as Dear Evan Hansen and lots of other shows in Chicago. And we both moved to New York in 2016 for my Broadway debut in The Lion King. And Austin basically had to start over professionally.
That was a big decision. We could do a whole video about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that, about being a
couple
that
was a tough decision.
Both works in the same industry and what that's like and how we support each other and everything. But Austin got his big break about 6 or 7 months into us living in New York, and that was this audition. A few people were talking about Austin, and his name came up for a position on the Angelica tour. And so
that was the first tour. They were going to open the show in LA for the first time. First tour since Broadway.
A sit down in LA, yeah.
Yeah, so they were looking for a new staff besides the Broadway guys.
Well, yeah, and they had, from my memory of it, this is your story, so forgive me. But from my memory of it, they already had 2 associates out on tour, and they realized they needed a third.
Yes, they had Julian Reeve, music director, and they had Andre, who was the music assistant.
His assistant, yeah.
The assistant.
His
associate.
Second, yeah.
Associate, assistant. Tomato, tomato. And then they quickly discovered that they needed a third person on the team.
To run rehearsals and...
Yeah, it's just too much work for the guys. Because whoever the music director will play key 1 and conduct the show. The key 2, the music associate, the associate music director, assistant music director, he or she will play key 2 and then sub-conduct whenever the conductor goes out to take notes, to watch the show or to take a break, whatever. And then so quickly they used to have a sub, like a local hire, who used to come in on key 2, and that became tricky. Very tricky because it's just a difficult show and there's a lot of precision involved in the show, and they just needed someone on staff to handle that and to also run all the rehearsals, because what happened was during the show there's always rehearsals, so it became that third person's job to do all the rehearsals both during the day and during the show. It's a lot, and to also come in to be able to conduct the show and to play key 2. So it was like everything. Yeah. It was a heavy load.
So we want to get into the video because I want to see this. And so this is from our old apartment, our first apartment in New York. It was a 1-bedroom. We turned this little nook between the bathroom and the bedroom wall into a studio for Austin to put his keyboard up. Austin has a lot of instruments, so this was tough. He had to downgrade a lot. But so you're going to see him in this little nook. And what else? I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, I guess I can talk a little bit more about the audition itself before you see it, is that a music associate was what I was auditioning for. And
which means you have to teach parts and teach people how to get in the show.
Yeah, so again, the job I was doing, I had to be able to conduct. I have to be able to play key 2. I have to be able to teach the entire show, all the tracks, all of them for the entire show to everyone, and to be able to play and rap and sing at the same time as I'm playing, and to also do all of that to the click, and to be able to play with the click.
Is, at the tempo, the beat. And you should, I mean, it's worth noting, if you don't already know, that when you go into a show and you're a replacement, this was my experience when I was a replacement for Dirty Dancing, as well as a replacement for The Lion King. When you go into the show and you're a replacement, you're in a room with the dance captain and a music associate, and that's it. You are rarely in the room with other people from the cast because they usually rehearse you during the show, and so the cast is in the show. They may call a few understudies who haven't been on that day to come rehearse with you, but usually it's just you. And so Austin had to learn how to teach parts as well as fill in the gaps in case someone was learning a part and he needs to be silent when they're rapping or singing, and you get the picture, I think.
All right, so we'll watch the video. Oh, this is going to be so embarrassing.
It's okay. We'll do payback. We'll watch my Lion King audition.
Yeah, we'll watch yours.
Yeah, so that'll be payback. Because it's horrible.
It's going to be so embarrassing. Okay,
but it's okay.
Here we go.
You booked the job, so that's all that matters.
Okay, let's see if the volume's up. It is. Okay, here we go. So this is the first audition. Yeah, the first audition. Here we go.
Imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. When's it gonna get me? In my sleep, 7 feet ahead of me. If I see it coming, do I run or do I let it be? Is it like a beat without a melody? See, I never thought I'd live past 20. Where I come from, some get half as many. Ask anybody why we living fast. And we laugh, reach for a flash. We have to make this moment last, and that's plenty. Scratch that, this is not a moment, it's the movement. We're all the hungriest brothers with something to prove. When foes oppose us, we take an honest stand. We roll like Moses, claiming our promised land. And if we win our independence, that I guarantee our freedom for our descendants. Or will the blood we shed began an endless cycle of vengeance with death and no defendants? I know the action in the street is exciting, but Jesus reached when all the bleeding and fighting I've been reading and writing. We need to handle our financial situation. Are we a nation of states? What's the state of our nation? I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation, every action to act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time I'm thinking past tomorrow, and I am not throwing away my shot.
You like channeling Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Yeah, but I didn't know the show that well at this point, honestly. So I'm just doing my thing.
Your voice sounds good. It does.
Okay, we should pause there. Okay. Thank you for laughing. You are so rude. Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
It was just the reach.
How dare you?
You can laugh at mine. Other than that, it was really great.
I said,
I need a tissue. Oh
I did not know how to negotiate the break. I said, oh.
Oh man, okay.
That's hard.
Can I have a tissue?
Yeah.
It's just.
Let me get a tissue.
Thank you. I'm locked in here.
Yeah, you'd be laughing at me going straight to hell.
Oh.
Oh, mercy.
Okay.
Why are you laughing so hard?
It was. It was surprising.
What?
It was surprising.
Okay, so what?
It was going so well.
Okay.
No, I just mean you executed it. You did it. You did it. You did the thing. But you're not being. You don't have to sing it. You're not having to.
I wasn't getting hired.
Don't destroy me in the comments, you guys. Like he laughs at me too. See.
No, don't destroy.
Anyway,
please don't destroy me in the comments.
Can we finish? I wanna.
No, we have to talk about my shot. Then we can watch the next one.
Okay, fine. That sounds good.
What were the takeaways? All my takeaways was first that was so embarrassing.
I have to give my takeaways because I'm watching it and you're watching yourself.
Okay.
My takeaways are: I thought you.
Oh, here she goes. It's going to be a long day.
I was going to say...
We hope that you're hitting that subscribe button for this torture.
I was going to say, I really thought that the timbre of your voice was so lovely, and I never get to hear you sing. The only reason I was about to laugh when I said that was because of the moment. But other than that, your voice sounds really beautiful, and I mean, to stick with the click and to sing all of those, sing, rap, whatever, Sprechstimme. It sounded really great. I thought you did a great job. And I know you were nervous, and I know it was high stakes, and you were like, I really want this, but let me not, come off eager or desperate. So that's hard. And I think you did a really great job.
I was doing the best I could do. That's always my thing anyway. It's like I just want to do my best. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I'm a white guy, who has never rapped on stage before.
You're white?
Bombshell. But obviously, I've never rapped for a living. Do I love rap? Sure. Do I listen to it? Yes. Do I produce it? Mix beats, all that stuff? Yes. So I know the genre.
World, yeah.
I know the world. I know the stuff, but I'm not a paid rapper.
I didn't feel like you were very square. You didn't do it square.
I'm not a square guy. I'm just saying that all of that, like auditioning for it, there's like a level of just feels a little out of my skin. It feels a little awkward.
To be fair, when I went in, it felt a little out of my skin too.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to go back to, 10-year-old Adrienne bopping around to like TLC or Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
And like channel that. But yeah, that's the beauty of Hamilton, right?
Yeah. So that was interesting. What's crazy is to think that I was just learning that. Like I got the sides, and both of us had this.
Turnaround.
Both of us weren't like Hamilton, like people that were just like listening to Hamilton all the time. I think I listened to it once, and that was kind of it, and I loved it. It was great, but I don't normally listen to musical theater on a loop. I normally listen to like outside music or other genres that inform my musical theater, but I try not to be just incestual about musical theater, only listening to that. Anyway, that's a whole nother video.
Yeah, I listened to Janelle Monáe, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was going to say, because of that, I didn't really know the music intimately. Mm-hmm. I just knew that I did know that they wanted detail. Like, so whatever was on the page is exactly what I had to play. I wasn't improvising, and I knew enough of knowing Lynn's voice just to try to do Lynn. So I really was just trying to copy Lynn because that's all I know. I'm not a legit rapper.
And it's his vision, so why not, emulate that, especially for this. It's not as if you were auditioning as an actor.
No.
And I also, it's interesting because before this, I think, I didn't know how extensive a musician's audition could be.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know you went in for War Paint, but that was really just about your technical.
That was crazy too.
Skills.
Yeah, that was crazy because it was like classical chops, like
which you have.
Yeah.
Can we keep watching?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. What's next? I don't remember. Yorktown. Oh, another rap. Great. Mulligan.
I've imagined that so much it's more like a memory. This is where it gets me. On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me. Weapon in my hand, a command in my memory. And I remember my lies was expecting me. Not only that, my lies was expecting. We gotta go, gotta get the job done. Gotta start a new nation, gotta beat my son. Take the bullets at your gun, the bullets at your gun. We move undercover and we move as one. The night we have one shot to get another day. We cannot let a stray gunshot give us away. Fight up close, see the moment is the in it. It's either that or meet the business end of a bayonet. The code word is Rochambeau. Did me? You have your orders now. Go, man, go.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I made it.
That is exactly how I felt. That was hard. That was hard. That is hard because you're doing like a hemiola kind of thing. You're doing ba 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 ba. But the vocal, the rap is doing something different.
Oh, okay.
And as a musician, like I'm trying to hit because there's accents. Do 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 do. But the vocals are doing something different over the top of that, and that's hard to like separate the brain. I mean, drummers do that. They got the left foot, right foot, left, blah, blah, blah. They're used to kind of doing that. And pianists are used to doing that too. Actually, when I give like master classes to pianists and in this world, I always talk about what Lack does and great other composers do is they turn being able to play two hands different rhythms.
Okay.
Right? You play, this hand can do its own rhythm, this hand can do its own rhythm, blah, blah, blah. And what Lack does is he says, now the pinky's got its own rhythm, the thumb has its own groove, this, and so you actually have 4-part. But in addition to that, with Hamilton, you got to be able to do the fifth, which is the vocals, which have a different accent with the words and the scanning of the lyric and the rap over the top of this kind of funk groove. I didn't nail it there at all, but that took a long time. Like, I just got through it, which I couldn't believe. And you're trying not to rush because it's to a click. And, like, you want to, like, rush through that. So you're trying to pocket. Oh, man, my brain was about to explode. So when I got that take, I was like, that's it. I can't do it anymore. Which is crazy that I even got it out, because that was tough. That was the toughest
It's funny.
part.
I've had, TV and film auditions where it's a lot of copy.
Yeah.
And, you've been my scene partner. And I'm like, that's it, because I literally can't do it again.
Not doing it again?
I can't do it again, so that's the one we're sending off. Moving on. But anyway, like we said before, you booked the job, so.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Did you have to do any of the women's parts?
Okay, so then I think I had to do a part 2. So I sent away part 1, and this is the takeaway. If any of my music director friends and what am I trying to say? Musicians, just anybody that's like auditioning for Broadway or trying to get in the Broadway world or regional or whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter, tour or whatever. And you have these kind of auditions, I can just give you a little bit of tip from what works for me. Is that we talked about this in the last video to actors about you have to be able to control what you can control and don't worry about the rest. You can't change the color of your skin. You can't change what you look like. You can't change if you're a man or a woman. You can't change none of that. But what you can do is control what you can control. And so for me, controlling what I can control is...
Your musicianship?
Well, sort of. But even that is like, that's just years of you either have it or you don't. You just have to give what you give. But the timeliness...
Oh yeah, you did turn it back.
The timeliness.
Really quick.
I knew when they asked, they were looking for people. So I said, well, it's going to take, and it was a stack of stuff, a pretty big stack. So I said, it's going to take most people like a week or two. They'll get to it. In 2 weeks, they'll get back. And I said, I'm going to do it tonight. And so I was like, for hours, just I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn this and learn this and learn this and learn this and get it all done. Be happy with it. And that's what you saw there. And then send it away that night. And then that hopefully that would get some sort of reaction. That would get like, he did all that stuff tonight? And then that could show them that I am like a go-getter. Like that I'm like willing to do it. I'm willing to tackle it. And I knew that Hamilton is 600 pages of music. Whoever gets the job is going to have to be able to learn all of that stuff quickly. They don't want to take a year to learn the show. You got to be able to be quick. So I just wanted to show that I was quick in that audition. Yeah. So I feel like that's the advice that I would give to other people is like, don't procrastinate. Get it done. Yeah. And same with self-tapes.
I do that with self-tapes, yeah. Well, we try to.
That's a different conversation, though.
Yeah, that's a different conversation because this tape is, not tape. This episode is supposed to be entertaining, but also for any musicians that are watching this.
I'm embarrassed. That was my embarrassed face. It's so embarrassing to watch.
For any musicians watching this that want to become music directors, either regionally or for a touring production or on Broadway, if an opportunity comes your way, step on it so that you can be first, because being timely is also useful too. Because if they're looking and they find who they're looking for, they're going to stop looking at the rest of the tapes. They're going to be like, oh yeah, this person works. So it's good to be first. Yeah. So do you want to play part 2? Or
I'll play part 2.
Oh, okay.
We might as well get it all over with. Because I don't even remember what part 2 was. But so anyway, so then I did that and they said, hey, here's some more stuff after I did that first thing. And they said, do the rest of the stuff.
But when did Alex Lackmore call you?
I don't even remember. Maybe it was a few days. It was a week.
No, I remember.
Was it a week?
I think later? It was before you sent in some more stuff.
Oh, maybe.
But I remember, okay, so I don't know if it was before he sent in this last video you guys are going to watch with us, or you all are going to watch with us, or it was after. But Austin's phone rang and we were home. It was in the afternoon before I left for the show. And it was an unknown number. And he picked it up. He was like, hello, and it was Alex Lackmore. And I kid you not, I wanted to listen in, and Austin went in the bedroom and shut the door in my face. And he was like, I cannot listen to what this man has to say and have you watch me.
Exactly. It was too much. I was already like freaking out. And then my voice started cracking and stuff, and I was like, I can't have her doing that thing she does you just saw earlier, the laughing and all that stuff. You would have laughed.
I wouldn't have laughed. I would have been so supportive.
No, you were supportive. I know you're supportive, but I would have been in my head about it. I would have been like, oh, it was too much. I don't even remember the conversation, see? I can't even remember.
You laugh at me.
Sometimes.
When that lady rear-ended me and the insurance people called, you laughed so hard.
I did not.
Because I misspoke.
What?
Remember the lady rear-ended me and then lied to the insurance company and said that I backed into her?
Yeah, but when did I laugh?
You laughed because I accidentally said the wrong thing. Like I said it if she was right. Because I was so nervous. Right. She
was. I did laugh because it was funny. You don't care about this story.
No, sorry. Anyway.
Basically, she told the insurance agent
it doesn't matter.
It was funny.
Let's watch the second video.
Okay, here comes the second video. What is this? Oh.
This click is very loud. You're supposed to be. Oh, okay.
This was just to show classical chops.
Yeah, classical. Yeah, very.
I didn't have to sing. This one felt good. I did that trill. I later found out that you have to start the trill all the time.
Depends on the area.
Well, they wanted to.
Oh. So you didn't have to sing anything?
Didn't have to sing anything. This is more my wheelhouse, just playing.
So why did you choose to wear blacks this time?
Because that's what you wear.
You didn't wear blacks in the first one.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe I had to sub. Maybe I had to sub the Ignite Night or something. Oh. So that was Farmer Refuted, which in the show is like...
Are you about to sing Helpless?
I hope not. Am I about to sing? I don't remember. I don't remember.
Please be about to sing
I don't
Helpless.
remember. I was just going to say on Farmer Refuted that's... You play a harpsichord in the show. Well, it's a synth, but a harpsichord. Yeah. And you're exposed.
Yeah.
So a little insider tip, not insider tip, but like behind the scenes info on the Broadway score in Key 2, it, at the end of it, Lack or somebody, I think maybe Kurt did, because Kurt was the original Key 2 player. It has like a big, congratulations, you did it, with a big smiley face in the score at the end, because it's difficult.
That's cute.
And it's super exposed. Nobody else plays. So it's like Key 2, and in the pit it feels like a spotlight, and all the musicians are just like, Well, not anymore. 4 years into it, they're just like on their cell phone. But but it used to be like, go ahead, play for us. It was fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what that was. That's a fun little moment.
I want to see Helpless.
Okay, sorry. I'm excited. Oh, I don't have to sing. I don't have to sing.
You're smiling like I don't have to sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was preparing myself.
It's the swing, the groove in this one. You just got to be able to groove. And swing. Heavy swing. I've never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. The rebel in the rebel one's a hot night. Open up my sister that she died for my hair on. That's the second verse. It's been a year. We haven't been over. I can't remember. I think this is all I do. I just have to groove.
So that's interesting that they had you do the hard parts first and then these technical.
Yeah, this is more technical. They wanted to check you're playing.
So this is what you sent in second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an audition cut. Big ups to all of the Elizas out there, because I think Helpless is a really hard song to sing.
Helpless is so hard.
Yeah.
All of you ladies and men who want to sing it and
all
the cabaret,
over the place.
It's tough.
Yeah, I think it's tough.
It's so tough. There's nowhere to breathe.
To vocally maneuver.
There's no way to breathe. The song is hard already, and then when they have to, they're moving around the stage. They're doing the thing. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Kudos to all the women who have to sing that song. It's tough, and for people to understand it.
Yeah.
I have never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. We were at a revel with some rebels on a hot
But
night.
to be fair, I think a lot of people have listened to the album, and that's like they kind of know.
Yeah, they practice.
I think people know, and maybe that's me being naive. But okay, Room Where It Happens. This is a long audition.
This is a great. It's a lot of stuff.
It is. I'm not complaining.
Oh man. This is tough. Oh, this is where it is.
Nice. Hey.
Patron.
Come on. I can just hear Burr singing this right now.
That was the most. I have to do another one. That was the most square that I've ever played. That, like, that was very much. You could tell that I'm just learning it. I was like, I'm so scared that
it
I'm
wasn't
gonna hit
muddy. It was very
notes.
clean. Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't muddy or loose or anything. Yeah.
That's funny. It was very like, I'm going to play the right notes now.
But you know what? It's nice to kind of hear the music
It's funny.
by itself.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
If you're not used to, because Burr's going nuts over that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yorktown.
I already did this. Is this the
I
same?
think it's a loop.
What is this? The same?
I don't know. Yeah, we already watched this.
Oh, this is where they just want me to play. So this is the play audition where they want to hear the grooves.
Oh.
Yeah, they just want to hear the grooves. Patron. This is what I'm talking about.
You look like you're having fun.
Oh, I have fun. When I conduct a show, I have so much fun. I love it. I love it. And key too. I love all of it. People give me a hard time because I have too much fun.
So this isn't unknown.
Ah!
So that's about how much you move. Do you move more than that?
I move a lot. I move all the time. And this is the thing. I've always moved like that. When I was in the classical days, we've talked about this, but in the classical days, I used to play Rachmaninoff. I used to love Russian piano music. And I always would move. And my piano teachers would be like, hey, Rubinstein sits at the piano and he doesn't move. He expresses through the music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And his face, you know, that wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know because I was very conservative Christian. I didn't listen to other music. I just had classical music and opera. And I loved it. But I always wanted to move. And it wasn't until later I discovered like punk rock. And like these guys are moving and going crazy. That was me. I just didn't know about it. I didn't know that was okay. I just did it. And I was always made to feel really bad about it. I was always made to feel like you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't move around. And I'm like, I'm just being myself.
Mm.
This is how I am. I'm not trying to get attention or something. I'm just expressing. I'm in the music. We talked about the other day. We saw Soul. Have you guys seen Soul? The new Pixar movie?
Yeah.
Basically in Soul, it's the same thing. Jamie Foxx character, he plays and he gets lost in it. And I felt like as a musician, it made perfect sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to non-musicians, but certain musicians you can get lost in the music. And it's not because they want other people to see them get lost in the music. They're just lost in the music and they love it. It's what they love. And that was always me. And then this is a whole story, which we could get into or not, but with Broadway, one of the hardest things for me to curb, and I'm still, was still working on it, is just moving and not moving. Because I always was more like a club musician. I love playing like clubs or playing, going on tour as a musician and expressing yourself. And when you do that in that environment, that's completely normal. It's okay. It's celebrated. But for some reason, I remember some of my first experiences in a Broadway pit. Unlike Chicago, when I was a musician in Chicago, I moved. I did my own thing. And people loved it. Like, I was normal, and I didn't know any better because I didn't go to school for musical theater. I didn't grow up in musical theater. I was just being myself. And then people were celebrating it. They were like, that's so great. And I guess it was different. But I didn't know that. I was just being myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made that decision to come to New York. And I remember getting kind of my first Broadway jobs, which was War Paint. In Chicago, I played the out-of-town tryout for War Paint in Chicago. And that was my first experience with other musicians being kind of bullying me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, basically, because I was moving, I was like expressing myself, and they basically would be like, stop, just sit there, you know? And I was like, oh, like, and it came so out of left field for me. I was like, oh my, okay. And it felt really bad. And then it just became kind of like bullying. It was very much like, no, we don't have fun here. We don't do, like, we don't, and I was doing my job. So that was tough. And that's a tough thing about Broadway with Broadway musicians is you'll find a lot of Broadway musicians, like, there can be an oppressive, a very, like, rigid environment, you know. And there's a lot of shows, I don't know if I should call shows out, but there are several shows that have that reputation. Lion King is one of them.
But not Carl.
Not Carl. Carl is
Carl
amazing.
German.
Carl, when I see Carl conduct, the first time I saw Carl conduct, the first time I saw Carl conduct, I was like, that man,
or
because
Sherry,
he is
Carl, Sherry, Paul, Rolando,
the conductors of Lion King.
Yeah, the conductors of Lion King.
They're so passionate and they're into it. And Carl's conducted the show thousands and thousands of times because he's been with it since the beginning. And when he conducts, it's like it's the first time he's doing it. At the end of Circle of Life, he's like, boom. And
he loves it.
Joy.
Carl German loves his job. There is so much joy.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when he was teaching me the show, we connected because we both had a classical background, and his wife is a singer, and Carl was just so excited to connect with a new Nala who had classical training, and we could talk, and I could, you know. Anyway, Carl German is such a joy. If you've gotten
so nice.
He's on YouTube on this one video he and I have together on Shadowland for Broadway.com. And you can hear him in the background playing and everything. We had so much fun doing that. People gave him a hard time because of the jazzy arrangement that he did. That's not quite what people are used to, but that's called being an artist.
That's art.
You know,
that's art.
I like what Carl was doing. We were grooving. So, and
basically that brings us back around to Broadway needs more art. Okay, Broadway. You know, I get that it's corporate, it's square. But can we get more art and artists, please? And stop being so mean to other artists. Because we do. We make artists feel bad.
At their core, you know, are threatened by things that are new or that make them feel uncomfortable. Or maybe when they started, they had to be a certain way and they, you know, adopted that or absorbed that. And now they feel like it's their responsibility or their job to police, you know, newcomers.
Yeah. It's just, it was tough. It was a tough thing to learn. It was a very tough thing to learn. Now I very much have found the middle ground. And that's something even the past couple of years, you know, we've been working on.
So you don't bring it home with you.
Yeah, because that was very tough for me, is that I was wrapping up all of my self-worth and myself into my performance, my art, because I'm very much an artist. And because I was only letting Broadway and doing key 2, key 1, whatever it was, key 3, music associate rehearsals, I was putting all of my self-worth into those experiences to then have somebody say, what you're doing is wrong. Sit there and don't be so like extra and joyful. We just play the show and we go home. And then for me, that like puts like, this is my life, my passion. That's what I love. You're telling me that it's terrible, that you hate it, that it's wrong. You know, it was kind of like, it felt really bad. So now to get to a better place and to, I guess that's the tips and advice for all those young up and coming music directors, you know, Broadway pit players, all of that, is to be able to do your job with joy and passion, to also be able to take the notes from your superiors, and to be able to play us. You don't necessarily have to do what you normally do to express your art, but then outside of the job, the Broadway, to be able to put all that passion and all of your self-worth and all of that into that.
Yeah.
into your relationships, into your art, your own art,
Yeah.
doing your own albums, because now I'm working on my own place, my own albums and stuff, and that's where that goes. But all that doesn't need to be tied up in the Broadway. And I know I hear this because I talk about it with actors all the time. The same thing happens with actors and anybody who works on Broadway, is that if you start tying up all of your worth into that role or that show, inevitably it's going to let you down.
It's going to let you down, yeah. Especially in a commercial show. If you're a replacement, which most likely you will be. It's everyone's dream to be in an original Broadway show, but it happens very seldom for newcomers. And so most likely you'll be a replacement, and they'll want you to fit into the puzzle that already exists. And you'll come in, you'll rehearse by yourself. It's a very isolated experience. And I've talked about this before. There's videos about this, but I think, like Austin said, it's really important to have fulfillment outside of your work so that you aren't relying on your job to fill you up.
Yes.
And it's
very important.
It's very important for the quality of your life.
Yes.
So, and we learn those lessons, and we still learn those lessons, you know.
Yeah.
It's an ever-going experience, but it's good to say it again. It's good to be reminded again.
Yeah, very good.
I had a lot of fun watching your Hamilton audition. I thought you did a really good job.
Okay, thank you.
I laughed, yes.
Oh, man.
But that was, for the most part, I was very impressed.
That made me miss it, too. Thanks.
Yeah.
I received that.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that makes me miss it too. It's
Yeah.
like excited to get back and play.
It is exciting. Yeah. It's a really cool show, and you are a part of the fabric of it. You know, you've done it. You're part of the company, the tribe, if you will.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's 4 years ago. I mean, it's
almost crazy. 4. I'm
it?
really literal.
But I thought, what was the date of this?
It said like May or June.
We're close. It was 3 years and 10 months.
Not quite 4 years. Okay, so we hope that you enjoyed the reaction video. We've never done a reaction video before. And we are going to do another one with my Lion King audition. And I got to tell you, I am horrified to share this with the world. But that will be coming to you soon.
I'm excited. And
if you like this video, or if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. We're very active. We'll get back to you. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps our channel. It helps it reach more people.
Yeah.
And
leave your comments.
Yeah.
I'd love to answer any questions you have about the music side of things.
Yeah. And sometimes the answer will come from 32 Bar Cut, and then other times the answer will come from Austin's page.
Yeah, it's not
Austin
some stranger.
Yeah, it's not a stranger.
It's just me.
Yeah.
We're also going to do a video, or should we tease our video that we're doing?
What video?
About diversity and race.
So we're going to talk about diversity.
Like on Hamilton and stuff, because I know there's a lot of questions about people, about the backstage staff. Like, I'm white, I'm working on Hamilton. What's that like? What do I think about that? Yeah,
that there is diversity on stage, but does that diversity move beyond the stage? And what that looks like in Austin's show Hamilton, and also in The Lion King, and what's being done to change that.
Yeah.
So we will talk about that next time. And we'll also do a reaction video, so stay tuned. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, you're a rock star.
We love you.
And we'll see you next week.